Hello, it's World Puppetry Day 2025 and this is Sue Wallace saying hello to the world of puppetry from ImaginArta, the Australian Puppet Centre in the beautiful little village of Sutton Forest. Come on in. You'll be welcomed by puppets and people. Duffy the donkey likes to come out and say hello to everybody. It has become a fashion at every show. We have some puppets from places around the world. These two extraordinary ladies were designed by Kim Carpenter for an adult show at the Marionette Theatre of Australia. And this is my slightly well-behaved dog today. Her name is Ruby. This is a rare event. Here we have, well, look, we've got a huge dream to develop a 3D library of mechanisms, but finding the space for it is, and the time to make all the mechanisms is another thing. But I think for puppeteers, learning on the internet is fantastic and we're so lucky we've got it. But if you can get your actual hands on something, take photos, take notes, feel it kinetically, what's happening with it, then I think maybe you could learn better. So this one is a show and tell about how this puppet is made. And this is based on a Lanchester and Tozer design.
And how did you cut these?
Well, this is all cut. All these patterns are separately made. This is two different kinds of wood, so you can see what the laminations are about. Now, this is the lower leg. So that instead of having to have the ability to carve it, like hand carving, then you can make these laminations on a bandsaw or a scroll saw if you need to, and then you glue them all together, and then you can just use an electric sander if you need, or you could do some in hand and then electric to then shape it. So this is the leg joined up, and then this is the leg shaped.
Beautiful. And can you tell us a bit about the hands?
And this is hands. I used to really hassle making hands, wire and pillow stuffing and sewing gloves, etc. Then I learned to carve. What a revelation. So we start with the pattern, transfer the pattern onto the wood. This is a wood called gelutong. Then you make the rough cut and the second cut. Then this is the point where the hand and the chisel starts. So then you cut this bit out and then fine tune. And it's amazing as you're working in it, then you've got choices. Do I want the little finger to pop out more? So then you've got choices of how you want to shape your hand.
Beautiful.
And then you come to the finished hand and then it's sanded, of course. I have to show you this because this was a gift from somebody who found it in a shop. In Australia, we have a very famous puppet called Mr. Squiggle, created by Norman Hetherington. And it's come into folklore in this country because here we are, a crocheted Mr. Squiggle.
Yeah. And we've got the coin as well.
And the coins. So he was a much revered marionettist. He was one of the first people to be on television in Australia.
Norman Hetherington is our first president of UNIMA.
First president,
Australia.
Yes, and he designed our logo.
Wow.
Norman had the most wonderful ability as a graphic artist who transferred then into puppetry. He could create beautiful things with very simple lines. These are animatronics puppets so that you can move levers to make them work. This is part of the 3D. Get your hands on it. See where the wires are. See where the elastic is. This mechanism, the mouth, push for the eyes, and then I'll turn it round here. That's the push-pull to make the eyeballs work. And this mechanism is actually a style of this, is in this puppet. So we're going to go back to Magic Pudding here. For those of you who don't know Magic Pudding, he's actually also another classic Australian character from a book by Norman Lindsay. And the pudding just likes to be eaten.
Yeah, just eat me. That's all I want. I don't care if you're a pudding thief or a pudding owner. Just eat me and stop gabbling. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh.
So that control is inside. And this is his hat that he can also sit in. We're just filling the shelves with various Sydney Puppet Theatre puppets. And look down here, it's slightly in disarray because people have been using it, but this is actually the UNIMA collection of puppetry books.
Wow.
Some of these puppets are now out of print. Some of these books are now out of print. So it's a great resource. Unfortunately, we can't do a lending library because you can't be assured of getting them back.
Of course.
But people can come and sit here and do some research. And I think Kay here, who's doing this video, has taken the time to do that.
I have. I have done that. I might go back to this one. Can you please talk me through a little bit more about this one?
Okay. Steve created this, Steve Coupe, who's my partner at Sydney Puppet Theatre and here at ImaginArta. So it's basic animatronics, and he's designed it so they go, two different flickers. One goes up, one goes down. So you've got the full radius of movement.
Wow. And what did he use to make them?
I'll have to ask Steve. Steve, come here, or
That's a little baby Arduino.
it's a baby Arduino
an Arduino
sitting in
Nano.
here, which gives the commands, right?
Yeah.
You program it to give the commands.
It interprets what this joystick's doing and sends them out as commands that the motors can understand.
And so these are little servo motors?
Yeah, little servos.
Right.
Wow.
Demystifying.
Demystifying. And what are these, Steve? The parts that you've used?
The wires?
They're from, I think they're model aircraft sort of joiners and so on. And they're just little 3D printed bell cranks.
Oh. And is this your design? Did you use a book for it or instructions?
I
Or
kind of just fiddled around till it worked.
that's how we make most things. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Amazing.
What do we have here? Well, let's find out. So I can figure out there's something that moves here. It's moving side to side.
Can give you
And
side eye.
let's have a look. Oh, yes, up and down. So this one doesn't have yes, it does have a natural down. That's elastic will push it up. I mean, the elastic will stretch and then it will want to come down. So this is a one-handed operation. But again, let's look at it. It's wooden balls, dowel, elastic, wire, aluminium, which is able to be bent, and again, dowel and some string.
And then a little bit of dowel just to cover that wire there.
And yes, that's so that the wire can be directed, so it's not free swinging. And then you'd have something for a puppet, full-time puppet, you'd have a bigger grip here, because you always want to make your puppets as ergonomic as you can. Yeah. And this one is just a basic design for head movement. So by using the thumb, you can go up and down, because there's a joint here, and there's room in the PVC piping to turn the head.
Amazing.
So it's light, and the little other lovely little thing is just how easy is that? A little bit of dowel
Yes.
that just says, I can rest my hand on that. This has been such a hit. It was a gift to us from a friend in the United States. This is a Czech toy theatre. And kids, well, it's not just kids, adults come and play with it as well. So,
I am Dracula. I want blood.
and kids have been playing with this today, so arms have been to the back of the puppet now.
Ha ha ha! I am Dracula. Where's the blood?
And what we found here is that kids will designate goodies and baddies, and they'll put all the baddies to one side and the goodies to the other side. And we've set up this mirror in front so that instead of kids coming around
Yes,
and
great
looking like
idea.
this, once they get the idea that it's possible, they can then play in
Yes.
here. So it's again a bit of that early training, early preparation to how you would operate in a theatre sense.
In a theatre sense. Oh, beautiful.
This automaton was inspired by Figures in the Fourth Dimension by Ellen Rixford, and Steve was quite inspired and decided to build it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, I'll probably close
Yeah. It does. And then out comes
A jewel. Oh my
and
goodness, Steve, that's amazing.
and then keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. And then can you see? Keep going.
Oh my goodness. That's incredible.
And then
Oh.
can't take it.
Wow.
Beautiful feet.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. The Indonesian puppets were gifted to us by Norman Hetherington, who we spoke about earlier. And people find them quite creepy, so they're up. But I love them. I love all these characters. And then other puppets in here we rotate. These are some of our marionettes. This is an Anne Davis, early working in Perspex marionette.
Wow.
Let's come up closer to the stage. We have a basket of puppets for kids to play with. Moving mouth puppets, puppets we found in Hungary, puppets we found in India, puppets we found in Romania as we've been on our tours, puppets we've made ourselves for a show, The Boy Who Cried Dingo, and they get well played with. And marionettes, oh my goodness, it's very brave of us to have
It is so
marionettes out
brave
for
of
kids
you.
to play with. But if they can get tangled, we hope they can get untangled. This one has been a great hit. This is a puppet, just an example for kids or any adults to make for workshops. This is Slim. So it's quite a simple marionette with just simple aeroplane control, and the feet and hands are weighted.
Weighted with pebbles, with stones,
With lead.
with lead. Oh,
Like fishing sinkers are great for lead, or you can buy lead rolls.
and then this is a two piece of bamboo.
No, that's dowel.
That's dowel, and it's just being put through.
Yep.
Nice. And there's a string, 2 strings for the head, 1 string for
The bum?
The bum
We
string.
call it the bum string.
The bum string.
We're Australians.
And then we've got 2 strings for the knees, for the legs.
And then the
we've
hands
got
are
the
on a
hand
continuous.
on a continuous string there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so as you can see, it's not like painted, finished puppet. It's to give the bare bones.
And what do you use for stringing?
We use filament fishing line because it's so easily found and replaced, and it doesn't break easily.
Lovely.
Some of this is my first ever bit of carving, working in the Czech tradition, and the black string is lovely, but it frays, so it takes some more time. This is babka. That's all from you. Welcome to the spotlight on our lovely stage and the impossible world of puppetry. Puppetry can be so simple or so complicated, as long as you make the puppet move in a believable, thinking way. I call puppetry a gestural art form. And what have we got here? Piece of fabric, a large ball, and a puppet. What's up? Not sure? Happy World Puppetry Day, everyone. Let's keep celebrating this extraordinary art form.